My name is Parra, and these are the influential agents in my day-to-day life. The first one's family, and the second one's education. Family influencing growing me up. From the moment I was born, I was immediately influenced and had my life differ from most other American children by a singular factor running through my family's blood and heritage, and that is being Hispanic. Growing up, I couldn't have a first language like many other children had. My first words are blurred due to having gone through a confusing preparatory stage. Family taught me that I had to speak Spanish, while TV and the outside world taught me nothing but English. As I tried to imitate the words and language around me, I ultimately became bilingual at a very young age. English wasn't the only first impression and influence of my life. The way I behaved and was disciplined differed with the use of a common fear of Hispanic children called la chancla. Having a younger sister by 2 years also made me feel less isolated, despite always being with my mother. But it also introduced me to analyzing and learning expressions and of behaviors as I attempted to understand my sister who is yet to say her first words. How family has shaped me. There are multiple ways that family has made me who I am today, ranging from religion to economic and even educationally. My family's being my family is basic and is composed of 2 males and 2 females. My father is the only one working, while my mother cares for me and my sister. We ideally follow gender roles like most other families. For starters, my family converted to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints a few years before they had me. Growing up as a member, I heard most traits and teachings of Christian churches, such as acceptance for everyone regardless of who they are and their differences. I was taught to believe in the Holy Trinity, and after 16 years of being a member and having little doubts in what I am taught, I consider myself more religious than most other teens my age. My mother never got past her second year of high school, and my father didn't work to get a college degree until a few years ago in his early 50s. Bit of their mistakes and regrets of not finishing high school, I pushed myself to go above them, and I have. Thanks to have Thanks to their mistakes, I'm currently enrolled in an early college high school, and I'm able to help my sister so she doesn't fall behind in middle school like I did at some point. Despite being Christians, my parents are not supportive of LGBTQ. They accept them as people and human beings, but they don't support the fact that people can switch genders in the blink of an eye, or that same-sex couples aren't seen as abnormal by most people. Some of these beliefs are somewhat reflected in my thoughts of LGBTQ. In the back of my mind, with being Gen Z, I am more accepting than my parents are, and thankfully I influenced my parents just as they did to me, to be more accepting before they offend the wrong person at the wrong time. Education influencing me growing up. As I previously mentioned, my early master of English and Spanish was a result of me trying to imitate my parents at home and what I heard on the TV. When I was 4, I started pre-K. My language and pronunciation only grew exponentially until first grade. I was finally able to communicate with both English and Spanish speakers, and learning to write and read in both languages was a challenge, but was fun. I was at the top of my class until 4th grade and gained confidence having good behavior and all A's. But in 5th grade, I started getting some B's. Come middle school, and I'm barely getting B's and A's. Most times have a C or even 2 C's. My confidence, thanks to academics, was on the constant fall. I was not depressed or anything near. I just didn't have the motivation to do anything. As a result, I was constantly bored, despite having various things I could do. I saw myself as inferior to my peers. In 8th grade, I took Algebra 1, a math class that was 1 year ahead of the norm. Thanks to the class, I am now 1 year ahead and currently in pre-cal as a high school junior. In 8th grade, I also got my first phone, but it didn't have service. I could only make calls through Wi-Fi, but I had no way to text people, and at that point, I didn't comprehend the power of social media. It wasn't until I entered geometry in 9th grade that I had to go to summer school for the first time ever. But from that, I learned that there is time for everything. But in 9th grade, I also got my first social media account, Instagram. Through Instagram, I got to know more people than ever before and got into multiple friend groups. Through small groups, I was able to study better and improve upon my speech skills and interactions with other people. I became less introverted to school and my education as a whole. Education shaping me now. As I previously mentioned, school and education introduced me to social media. I am now a junior and have a little under 1,000 followers on Instagram. All due to education and the introduction of classmates, friend groups, study groups, and people from all over the school district. I am even friends with some people outside the state who sometimes help me with understand concepts and questions I have and subjects I struggle in. One thing that has recently shaped me and led me to somewhat of a depressive state is pre-call and A-push. Both are challenging classes with concepts I struggle to understand. But on top of it all, they boost my confidence every time I get a good grade in an assignment. As some people say, these classes are a double-edged blade to my emotional state. If I could go through socialization again at this point in age, all over, I would like to try harder in my classes and make some friends to get to know people more personally and not just online. And maybe even try to show more affection to my family by doing chores out of the kindness of my heart and not because I am supposed to. Thank you.